Hey guys, it's RockTheGolem, and I'm here to give you just a quick update on what's been going on with my channel, and unless I start rambling, it's actually going to be a lot faster than my previous one back in January. First off, and as always, I want to thank everyone who's been subscribing to my channel lately. In just about 2 months, I've gotten over 300 subscribers. It's amazing. It boggles my mind how quickly my channel's been growing lately. And I don't know if it's because of the playthroughs that I've been doing, or maybe just the fact that I've been trying to network out a little bit more. I'm not sure. But for whatever reason, in the past 2 months, I've gotten literally 50% more subscribers. I don't know where you guys are coming from, but thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you can bring more people in. I want to make this as big as possible. Like, I know I said before that I never expected my channel to grow to any substantial number, or like even how surprised I was when I was at 50. Don't get me wrong, I'm still surprised. I'm still amazed that people are finding me and are actually enjoying my content enough that they want to be a part of it and see more of it as it comes out. But it's exciting the fact that I've gotten to this point. I would love to see how far I can actually take it. So if you guys are willing to help me, I'm more than willing to keep putting out content. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it enough that you're going to be willing to tell people about it, which I think is a pretty reasonable thing. You're enjoying it enough to be here and to stay here, so what's the harm in bringing in some friends? I think that would be awesome. So yeah, anyone you know that you feel might enjoy some of the things that I put out here on my channel, let them know about it. Tell them a little bit about me, send them a link, see what they think. The more the merrier. But in regards to my channel and my subscribers, well, actually now only about half of you would probably remember this, but I set up a invitation for a Q&A back when I hit, I believe it was 600 subscribers. But that's still open right now. I've decided that I'm going to put a cap on it with waiting till I hit 1,000 subscribers. I really don't have anything planned for a 1,000 subscriber special, and the fact that I still haven't done the Q&A, it feels like it might be a good idea for me to actually do it then. When I hit 1,000, gather up all the questions that I've gotten, which, by the way, still haven't been very much, and put it out then. Like, make it as sort of a way for my new subscribers to learn a little bit about me. But I'm hoping now that I have these new people subscribed to me, that this is going to be like a new invitation for you guys to send me questions. Either, leave them in the comments below, private message them to me, or you can email them to me directly. It doesn't matter how you get them to me. Facebook, Twitter, anything like that. Hell, even DeviantArt, go for it. Wherever you can find me, send me a question if you have one. But yeah, as of right now, I only have about 6 or 7 questions, so the Q&A isn't going to take much time. So if any of you guys have questions for me and you want them answered, now is the perfect opportunity. We've got less than, let me actually take a look right here. As of right now, I'm sitting at 921 subscribers. So you've got 79 subscribers to go before I start working on this Q&A and actually looking to release it. I'm hoping to get as many questions as possible out of this. And I'm really hoping that, like I said before, if you're here and you like what I do and you like interacting with me and things like that, that you're going to have at least some questions for me. And it can be about anything. It can be about me personally. It can be about my channel, graphic design work, voice acting stuff, how I go through doing my Let's Play, settings that I use for Open Broadcast, or anything. I had to go through and dig for some of this information to get my channel to the point where it is, like how to do it myself, because I didn't know how to do it starting out. So if you guys have questions about that, feel free to ask me. I'll be more than happy to share with you what I have. But speaking of doing all the Let's Plays and voice acting and stuff, let's start out with the Let's Playing, actually. Right now, I'm up to having 3 games going continuously at one time. I love the fact that I've been able to get enough content recorded that I can have a release every single day and still be covered for a substantial amount of time. Dragon Ball Xenoverse is the latest one to come out, and I've already finished recording it. That one's going to carry me into the month of May. As far as Far Cry 4 and Shadow of Mordor go, those will carry me into April. I still have to finish up Far Cry 4, I still have to finish up Shadow of Mordor, but as you know if you've been watching closely enough, Shadow of Mordor is going to be played in opposition of Life is Strange. And Chapter 2 of Life is Strange comes out, I believe it's the 24th of March. So once that launches, I'm going to jump on that as quickly as possible and get that recorded and done and out. So Shadow of Mordor will be taking a pause at that point, and I'll be putting out everything for Life is Strange, and then Shadow of Mordor will pick up again. So yeah, having this little buffer that I've been creating for myself is great, because that allows me to kind of like, binge play all in one day, edit as I go along, record and put things out so that I can focus on life and work and spending time with my girlfriend and my friends and things like that. So surprisingly, for the amount of time I've been putting into doing these videos, and it takes about 2 hours per episode, I've figured out, it's still a lot less work than it would take me to do a voice acting clip or anything like that, which I discussed in my last update. But despite that, doing these playthroughs still takes a lot of time. So having said that, I need to get a little serious on you guys for a minute and talk about the voice acting here on YouTube. As I mentioned before, I wanted to go out and seek more professional opportunities. Well, surprisingly, I found them. Like I said before, they are out there for people. You just kind of need to know where to look or who to ask. And as far as that goes, don't really ask me. I can tell you what I did, but I can't say for sure if that's the right answer or not. But I'm now up to my 3rd paying job. As I said before, the first one was a pixelated series that's going to be here on YouTube, and the other one is a startup company that I'm helping out here in Boston. The third one, I don't know how much I'm supposed to actually talk about this because I haven't signed a non-disclosure agreement, but I don't want to violate any one that are already in place. All I can tell you is that it's going to be here on YouTube. It is a cartoon. I play a small character. It's going to be a recurring character in every episode, and it's one of those ones where it's going to be almost like a quirk or a gimmick of the show, and, something's going to happen, and it's always going to, involve this individual, and I get to be that one. So the fact that I get to, I'm not a main character, obviously, but I like the fact that I'm, one of those little key, quirky characters that hopefully, memorable for people and that people enjoy and will watch the things that unfold around them. But that was actually picked up here on YouTube by Cartoon Hangover. We're contracted out to them, and so like I said, I haven't signed anything as far as the non-disclosure agreement goes, but I don't want to get into detail about what's going on. Who knows, I may have actually violated something by even saying that it's, contracted up by Cartoon Hangover, but that's all I can really go into. It's exciting too, because I love some of the stuff that they put out, and the fact that I'm going to be a part of that now, and actually be paid for it too, that's amazing. I love it. So for me, this is really my first opportunity to kind of get into something that is not only going to be, paid professional work, but is actually going to be backed by a company that is looking to get these, episodes out there and show them to people, and, are already well known and established. So a lot of people are going to be seeing this, and so I want to focus a lot of my time on this project especially. Which I even haven't had the chance to do. I've spoken with the director. I've sent some test lines out for him, which were really just for my audition. And I'm he wanted to know if I wanted to wait for storyboards and things like that. And I said, no, I'll take some time. I'll do something kind of on the fly. And unfortunately, I haven't even had the chance to do that. And he's been really understanding about that. And I'll talk about why I've had such a difficult time recording in a little bit. But yeah, it's been hard even to get stuff out for that project where it's such a big deal and so important to me, and it's still difficult for me to do work on. So here's where the serious part comes in. Now that I'm starting to get involved in so many professional projects where they're actually willing to compensate me, I have to kind of, dial it back on what it is I've been doing here on YouTube. Not as far as the playthroughs go, but unfortunately I have to take the hit on voice acting here on YouTube. And it's not because I'm worried about getting in trouble, for signing on with one group and then, putting out something on YouTube and they're like, oh, you're a fan dubber, you're, breaking copyright or anything like that. I'm not worried about that. Whatever I have on YouTube is already said, it's already done. I'm not worried about getting in trouble with anybody. It's literally the fact that I'm simply not going to have the time to devote to voice acting here on YouTube because the voice acting is going to be shifting to somewhere else. I actually saw someone who was having a conversation on Skype earlier that said, oh no, I don't know if he's going to really be able to help out because he's shifting away from voice acting and doing more Let's Plays. That's true, but that's just as far as YouTube goes. I'm by no means looking to stop being a voice actor. Like I said, I'm actually looking to take it to the next level, and now I have those opportunities in place. So I have to focus on them, I have to take advantage of them, and I have to give them priority over everything else that I do. So I do apologize for saying this. Like I said in the last update, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to withdraw from anything. But unfortunately, I am going to have to withdraw from multiple things. Hi, Kira. So basically, it's going to be easier for me to tell you what I can still be a part of as opposed to what I'm withdrawing from. as of right now, I still want to be involved with anything that BT Dubs or their members do. The same thing goes for Delirium Studios, Snarfro Dubs, and Pineapple Kiss Productions. So those 4 groups are the main groups that I'm actually a part of. I think with the exception of Pineapple Kiss, not much has been put out lately by any of them, but I did find out that BT Dubs has 2 huge things planned. Think of it kind of like as a resurrection, so that's going to be kind of awesome. How big my involvement with those will be, I'm not quite sure. Based on what was explained to me, one project I'll only have just a little part in, and the other project, it'll be more of a minor role. I did hear a major role opened up though, so I might actually throw my hat in for that one, but that's neither here nor there. Anywho, so that's as far as groups go. As far as individual projects, I'll be staying on with Desolation, Forbidden Love, Hollow Tower, and Games They Play. To be honest, these 4 series are the ones that I've put probably the most time and effort into, especially with Desolation and Hollow Tower. I play major roles in all of these. I took over the male lead role for Forbidden Love, which, again, you know, that's going to be a huge thing for me. I love the fact that, you know, obviously I was replacing the original voice actor because he kind of up and disappeared, but I can kind of understand where they're coming from on this one because I've had to do that with a bunch of people too. But I don't want to leave anyone hanging like they do, hence the purpose of this portion of the update. Yeah, so I want to stay on with all these projects that I've listed here, and unless I've missed anything really important, and by the way, I very well may have. You know, my voice acting to-do list hasn't been updated in a while, and having a conversation with my friends Nikaru-chan and Nokon, I was sitting down and talking to them about this before I was going to record this announcement, and I realized that I barely remember the projects I'm in because it's been that long. And that's actually rather unfortunate, the fact that it's gone on for so long, you know, being distracted by work and not being able to record and trying to get these playthrough episodes out, that I've fallen so far behind that I can't even remember where it was I was supposed to be. So think of this as me trying to like reboot the voice acting side of me on YouTube, and also setting like kind of a soft limit on what it is I'm going to be doing, because the last thing I need to do yet again is to overload myself with projects. And you know, my high school mentor even said to me, you have an issue with telling people no. And it gets worse when it's, you know, people that I actually know and care about. You know, they ask me to do something, and no matter how much I have on my plate, I'll always tell them that I'll do it because I don't want to let them down. Unfortunately, this time around, I gotta start looking out for myself a little bit more, and I am gonna have to let some people down. Hopefully not, you know, the people who are really close to me and who know me best, but I can't make that promise at this stage of the game because this is just the direction life has taken me, and I have to start to focus on myself just a little bit this time around. But yeah, as far as voice acting goes, my next big project is to finish recording and producing my next professional demo reel. Actually, my first professional one, because my first one really couldn't even be considered a professional demo reel because I did more along the lines of, you know, imitation and, you know, recording previously made lines from various animes and things like that. So I want to put out something a little more original, something my own, you know, put my own little spin on it like I do with most things, and actually follow, you know, guidelines like I didn't do before. So yeah, so that's my next big project that I have going on for myself, is to get that demo reel recorded and done and have that out for the world to see. As far as other projects go, like I said, I still have an open invitation for everybody. If you have something you want to approach me with, if you want to see if I'm interested in auditioning, if you have a role in mind for me, still message me about them. I'm not going to turn anyone away who just wants to, you know, pitch an idea to me. Feel free, like, especially if it's interesting enough, I'll probably jump on board with it. You know, that's actually how the Pixel series that I jumped on board for started. You know, like I said, he wasn't able to pay me at first, he isn't able to pay me now, but at the time, the idea of it was just so interesting that I decided I wanted to be a part of it, and I hope that it grows to be something really big. It sounds exciting to me, and I still believe that. Things are just taking a little longer than we had thought. We're going to do a little bit of re-recording on that. So yeah, feel free to ask me if you have everything in mind for me. I'm more than likely just be aware that unless it's something that I feel will either, you know, help me grow as a voice actor, or unless you're willing to pay me, and I hate to say it like that, but unfortunately that's what it's grown into, is the fact that, you know, paid work has to take priority. So unless it's something like that, just be aware that there's a good possibility that I'm going to tell you no outright. And I don't want to say it like that either. I'm not going to just say, no, I can't do it. I'll give you a reason why. I always have, I always will. I don't want to leave anyone hanging, and I don't want to leave anyone feeling like I just don't care. I do. Like I said before, I love seeing projects get off the ground. I love being part of that. So yeah, don't hesitate to ask. Feel free. I'm always going to be here. I have no intentions of ending this channel. There's always going to be something posted on here, so as I said, feel free. Alright, now that I've succeeded in rambling well beyond the time I wanted to do, here's a couple more things for you. I wanted to start something a little fun on this channel. My most popular video is one called Maury Speaks. And I'm sure most of you have probably seen it, if not all of you. I didn't really expect this video to go anywhere, and it turned out to be my most popular video of all time. It has, I think, almost 9,000 views on it and, hundreds of likes. So I wanted to see if I can, continue on with something like that. The fact that that's so popular. But I wanted to do more of like an audience interaction type thing. Similar to my Q&A, I wanted my audience to interact with me and for me to interact with them and have them ask me questions. But for this, I'm going to do it a little differently. I want people to send questions, obviously, to me, but for Maury to answer. Like literally, send out questions that you want Maury to talk about, I guess you could say. Like, I'm interested in what people would like to know from him or know about him. So, and obviously I would be voicing Maury. I have a couple of friends on board who would be helping me out with other parts and stuff. But yeah, if you guys are willing and you think it's a good enough idea, I want to see what questions that you could ask him or what you would have in mind for him. When you send them to me though, if you send them in like a private message or an email, make sure just to put somewhere that this is for Maury and not for me, because if you don't specify one or the other, actually even in the comments below, say, oh, for Maury Senpai or whatever, let me know that it's for him, because I'm going to assume that they're from my Q&A as opposed to him. And what I'm going to try to do is, I don't know how often I'll put them out, but it'll obviously be in addition to the Let's Plays that I do, but the question will be read on screen. You'll be credited with asking the question, and Maury will answer it. So, I don't know. I have no idea if this is a good idea, if this is something that's going to be successful or not. I may end up doing a couple and they'll flop horribly. Who knows? But I want to try something new. Like I said, this is going to be kind of a combination of, voice acting and not necessarily doing like redubbing or fan dubbing, but at least giving me something of an opportunity to do a little bit of voice acting work here on YouTube on my own channel. Yeah, moving along from there though, just to give everyone a quick heads up, I'm going back to Anime North yet again this year, and I'm taking No-Con with me and going up to see Haru-Sol and Nikuru-chan yet again. This actually may be our last time doing it too, because we don't know what next year is going to bring, especially for No-Con, who's graduating college. So congratulate him, guys. He's worked really hard on this. He's got a lot of plans for the future, so support him in any way you can. Same thing with Nikuru-chan. She's graduating as well. But I don't think her plans are as ambitious as No-Con's. I think No-Con's looking to actually move overseas. So yeah, that's kind of a big jump. Yeah, the four of us are going to be heading to Anime North yet again. I'm pretty sure no one got in contact with us last year, but I probably only had like 300 subscribers back then. So hey, 3 times the people, maybe we know someone from up in the area. But yeah, if you're going to be up in the area of Anime North, feel free to get in contact with us. I'll try to post some contact information before we head out. It's going to be in May, so I got a little bit of time to work on that. But yeah, if you guys want to meet up with us, say hi, take a picture, whatever have you, feel free to message us and let us know. Alright, and last but not least, I promised I would give an update with Project Stonecutter and all these updates. It's not going to be as quick as what I thought it would be, because I actually owe some explanation on this one. So as you guys know, I started out the year at 383. The goal was to lose 10 pounds a month, which would, right here in mid-March, would put me to about 358. Unfortunately, I've only lost 10, which, don't get me wrong, that's awesome. I've still lost 10 pounds. It's just that I was supposed to have lost about 25 by this point. I should have been, like I said, 358, but I'm currently only 373. So I'm about a month and a half behind. And here's the reason why, which also ties into the reason why I haven't been able to voice act and record and get all this other stuff done that I've wanted to do. It's because, if you guys don't know, Boston has broken the all-time snow record for this winter. We got absolutely pelted with snow all throughout the month of February. Like, schools were closed for almost 2 weeks. The MBTA, which for us is the subway system, was actually shut down. Roads were closed down. Travel bans were put into effect. People were snowed in. There was, roof and building damage everywhere. Like, the insurance companies are going to be, backlogged all the way up through the summer because of all this. 108.6 inches fell this winter, which literally makes the snowiest winter in Boston, and the majority of that fell throughout the month of February into March. It was just this last 2.9 inches that we received this past Sunday that pushed us over that record. But literally, at one point, I'm 6'3". I think I mentioned this before, but the snow mounds from me, snow blowing and shoveling, were up over my head because I had to clear out my driveway so I could get to work. And that was when work was actually open. Like, my own building, who hates closing down because of weather, closed down because of weather. So that should be an indication of how bad things were. And I'm sure people are saying, well, Rock, if you were snowed in, then wouldn't that have been the perfect time to record? Well, you would be right, but except for the fact that there were constantly trucks and plows going up and down the street. There were constantly people out there with snow blowers and shoveling and throwing, whatever. There was ice falling off of, the side of my roof. There were power outages, which, let's face it, if you're going to be recording on anything that's not, an analog cassette tape, you're not recording anything. So the majority of the reason why I haven't been able to record, especially for that series that Cartoon Hangover has brought up, is the fact that I haven't been able to for, either the fact that I haven't had power, I haven't had the time because I'm either, trying to, I have to add an hour to my commute to and from work. I have to, add multiple hours to shovel myself out, or there's just so much noise going on, or I'm so exhausted at the end of the day that I just didn't have the time or the energy. And as you guys know, or should know, I use a Blue Yeti microphone. This thing is really sensitive. I record from home in, my own private setup. I do the best I can with what I have. I don't have a soundproof booth or anything, so whatever noise goes on outside will get picked up by the microphone, and I can't necessarily take that out of my recording. So yeah, with being snowed in comes, not being able to shop for food. So there was a lot of, takeout being done, ordering in, having it delivered sort of things. So it's really hard to try to, eat healthy and maintain your weight when your diet consists mostly of Chinese food or pizza. So yeah, fell a little bit off the wagon on this one, but I'm still, I guess you could say on track. I do have to adjust my monthly goal at this point though. So instead of doing 10 pounds a month, it's going to shift a little bit to do 12.5 pounds a month, which should be very feasible as long as, no other extenuating circumstances come up, which they shouldn't. But barring anything like that, I should still be able to make this goal of 260. When I was first working out and doing all this stuff, about 12 pounds a week was about average for me. So maybe I'll miss it by a little bit. I don't want to. I'm going to try as hard as I can to hit it. But yeah, that's basically where I sit right now. So that's going to do it for this update. I was trying to make this a short one. It always starts out with that intention. But it never seems to work out because I start talking and I have my notes here in front of me, which is maybe only like a paragraph long, and then I just kind of, go off on tangents and end up rambling about whatever. It's all pertinent information as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to take some of this out in post. But I'm up to about 32 minutes worth of recording, and I'm going to try to cut that down as much as possible. But yeah, so thank you guys very much for sitting through the update. Thank you once again to my new subscribers. Welcome to my channel. I hope you guys take the opportunity to take part in it and to find a way to contact and communicate and connect with me. I would love to hear from you guys. Any feedback you have, negative or positive, as long as it's constructive, I would love to hear it. So thank you all very much, and I will see you guys on the other side. Take care.